Well, folks, Bud Light has now taken a serious financial hit after a lot of people decided they didn't feel like drinking a beer that was going to pander to trans sensibilities by saying that a man can be a woman via Dylan Mulvaney. All the fallout continues to mount. Anheuser-Busch put out a ridiculously weak statement. They said, quote, "Our responsibility to America." This is from the head of Anheuser-Busch, the CEO, a guy named Whitworth. Quote, "As the CEO of a company founded in America's heartland more than 165 years ago, I'm responsible for ensuring every consumer feels proud of the beer we brew. We're honored to be part of the fabric of this community. Anheuser-Busch employs more than 18,000 people, and our independent distributors employ an additional 47,000 valued colleagues. We have thousands of partners, millions of fans, a proud history supporting communities, military, first responders, sports fans, and hardworking Americans everywhere. We never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We are in the business of bringing people together over a beer. My time serving this country taught me the importance of accountability and the values upon which America was founded: freedom, hard work, respect for one another. As CEO of Anheuser-Busch, I'm focused on building and protecting our remarkable history and heritage. I care deeply about this country, this company, our brands, our partners. I spent much of my time traveling across America, listening to, learning from our customers, distributors, and others. Moving forward, I will continue to work tirelessly to bring great beers to consumers across our nation." That is an absolutely meaningless statement. This made the left mad, by the way. An absolutely meaningless statement that doesn't actually back off of advertising with Dylan Mulvaney apparently made the left fighting angry. But it shows that Anheuser-Busch is actually on the retreat a little bit. They don't want this fight in the same way that Disney has been on the retreat socially since people decided they don't wish to invest in their product. We'll see if Disney continues to double down. And the great suspicion is that in Frozen 4, they'll make Elsa a lesbian. By the way, if they do that, it is the end of Disney as a company. Predict it. You can write it down. It is April 17th. If they do that in Frozen 4, they'll destroy Disney. Like, thoroughly destroy it. Anheuser-Busch was trying to walk this one back. According to the UK Daily Mail, Budweiser has released a patriotic new ad featuring its iconic Clydesdale horses just 2 weeks after the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light deal sparked huge backlash. The 1-minute spot was released on social media Friday, featured shots of the iconic Clydesdales galloping across the country in open fields past landmarks including the Lincoln Memorial and the New York City skyline. And then a narrator says Budweiser is a story bigger than beer, right? They're trying to, it better be bigger than beer because the beer isn't very good. The ad for the beer is obviously a pivot to return to sort of the values that originally Bud Light was identified with. This is in stark difference, says the UK Daily Mail, to Bud Light's doomed partnership with trans influencer Mulvaney, which ended in a lukewarm apology from the former CEO. Now, I didn't really apologize, obviously, but it was a movement away from all of that, which is why it's important to actually pressure corporations that do this, which is kind of why it's unbelievable to me, like truly unbelievable, the pusillanimity, the cowardice, like the pure cowardice of the RNC and Donald Trump Jr. on this issue. Listen, I like a lot of things about Donald Trump Jr. I've met him, very nice guy. Donald Trump Jr. on his podcast suggested that we should stop boycotting Bud Light, that we should continue to drink Bud Light, which is a weird take. It's a very weird take, actually. And there are some reasons for that. So here, Donald Trump Jr. said this.
The memes have been so good. I'm sitting there chomping at it. Like, I want it. But like when I actually look into it, I'm not going to blame the whole company for the inaction or the stupidity of someone in a marketing campaign that got woke as hell. The company itself doesn't participate in the same leftist nonsense as the other big conglomerates. Frankly, they don't participate in the same woke garbage that other people in the beer industry actually do, who are significantly worse offenders when I looked into it.
Okay, so what? I mean, what? So first of all, this notion that you shouldn't pressure corporations, especially if those corporations give to Republicans, unlike other corporations, is ridiculous. Those are exactly the people you should pressure. Why would a left-wing corporation that gets all of its money from the left wing ever listen to you? It's where you have leverage. If you can't keep the corporations that actually are fairly balanced in line, what are you going to do with the far left corporations that don't give a bleep about your priorities? Makes no sense. Now, it does tie in with the fact that, Donald Trump Jr. is on board with the don't trans the kids stuff. But he has also said in the past that, quote, I don't give a bleep, dude. If you're an adult and you want to be trans and you do it, great. If you're happy, you're productive, I don't give a bleep. I'm fairly liberal on the issue. I mean, the reality is that for those of us who don't believe in the transgender agenda, the very idea that a man can become a woman and a woman can become a man is absurd on its face. It's significantly worse for children because anything that you do that is bad is worse when you do it to kids. But if you're a 30-year-old man and you say that you are a woman and some doctor decides to do mutilating surgery on you, I think there are values like truth that are actually higher than consent. If you consent to chop off your arm and a doctor does it for you, that doesn't make it okay. There's still a problem there. But put that aside. The basic sort of notion that you are supposed to leave alone Bud Light or Budweiser because Budweiser is not quite as lefty as other companies It makes no sense at all on just a pure leverage level. And we'll get to more on that momentarily. First, let's talk about your sleep quality. It's easy to lose sleep over the bad things happening in the world, but you need to have a great mattress made just for you. So everything else in your life, thank God, is now personalized. You can personalize pretty much everything in your life. Your coffee order, you don't just go to the coffee house and be like, whatever you got on tap. Instead, you don't go to the local pub and be like, whatever you get on tap. It might be Bud Light. Instead, what you do is you actually go and get a mattress that is made just for you. Helix is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, even a mattress made just for kids. I've had my Helix sleep mattress for years now, which is great because if I have the wrong type of mattress, I get actually bad back pain. So I need it firm and breathable. That's exactly what Helix Sleep actually does. Go to helixsleep.com/Ben, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, find the perfect mattress for your body and sleep type. Not the kind that I want, the kind that you want. For a limited time, Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. It's their best offer yet. Hurry on over to helixsleep.com/Ben. With Helix, better sleep starts right now. They've got financing option, flexible payment plans. They make it so a great night's sleep is never far away. Go check them out right now. helixsleep.com/Ben. You know, men, we hate going to the doctor. You have to make the appointment, spend half your day sitting around the waiting room. And then sometimes guys have to endure uncomfortable conversations about their body with somebody else. Well, RexMD is FDA approved. It's the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. It's fast, simple, and cheap. You can access your U.S. licensed RexMD physician anytime you need it. RexMD makes it easy and inexpensive to get generic and branded Viagra or Cialis online. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, no copays. Did you know that Viagra can cost $90 a pill? Well, RexMD has the generic version for as low as $2 a pill. Fill out their online medical questionnaire. A doctor will review your situation and, if appropriate, prescribe you medication. Your medication will ship right to your door with free 2-day shipping. It's fast, simple, and cheap. Plus, you can access your U.S. licensed RexMD physician anytime you need afterwards. RexMD has already helped over 300,000 dudes gain confidence quickly and conveniently, and they're here to help you as well. Take advantage of their best deal yet at rexmd.com/Ben. Save up to 90% off by paying only $2 per dosage. That's rexmd.com/Ben for up to 90% off. Go to rexmd.com for more details and safety information. Again, check them out, rexmd.com. The RNC is doing the same exact thing. So the NRC, the National Republican Congressional Committee, they actually quietly backed off of attacking Bud Light. Why? Because it turns out that Bud has given some money to the RNC. According to the Daily Beast, the new move by the NRCC is to delete a fundraising page that took aim at Anheuser-Busch. Okay, now I understand why they're doing that. These are money-making organizations. And this is something that we should all remember in politics. This is true right, left, and center. All of the organizations, the RNC, the DNC, the NRCC, the DNCC, or the DCCC rather, all of those organizations are repositories for money grabs. They are not there to define values. All they care about is the bottom line, how much money they take in. So if there's a corporation, that corporation giving money uses its leverage against the NRCC. It's not the opposite way around. It's not that the NRCC is using its leverage against corporations. The corporations are using their leverage on the NRCC, which is why it's important for you as the consumer to exert your leverage on the companies, because otherwise they're going to shape from the inside the agenda of the NRCC. You want to know why a bunch of Republican senators voted in favor of enshrining same-sex marriage? It's because voters didn't do their job. It is because the Republican Party over and over again on social issues has been eaten from the inside out by a donor class that does not actually share the values of the base of the Republican Party. This, by the way, is one of the reasons why, for example, there is a major donor, supposedly, who is now going anti-DeSantis in the wake of his 6-week abortion ban that was passed and signed into law here in Florida. This donor happens to be a major Trump donor, by the way. This donor was featured by Maggie Haberman, who is, of course, very tight with Donald Trump on a personal level. He's kind of her pen pal or phone pal. And she wrote an entire piece about this guy who was very upset with DeSantis. Why? Because DeSantis is too socially conservative. One thing you have to understand about the GOP donor class, by and large, they're significantly more socially liberal than the general population of the United States and way more left-wing when it comes to social policy than the base of the Republican Party. This is the thing that everyone in these sort of chattering classes doesn't understand about Trump's campaign in 2016. Trump's campaign in 2016 was not about trade. Trump's campaign in 2016 was not about racism. Trump's campaign in 2016 was, there's a left-wing assault on your social values, and you should not allow that to happen. The big gap between the middle of the country and the coasts is not on economics. The big gap between the middle of the country, red state areas and blue state areas, is actually on the social issues. Those issues matter to an awful lot of people, especially a lot of people who happen to go to church. But the donor class doesn't believe that stuff. This is why if you actually go inside the Republican donor class, and I've been in a lot of rooms with these people, the Republican donor class is disproportionately libertarian. They're people who are this is how they get along with all their left-wing friends in major coastal areas, because coastal Republican donors give an outsized share of Republican donations. Those coastal Republican donors are people who go to their friends and they're like, yeah, I'm not so comfortable with this pro-life thing. I'm pretty on board with same-sex marriage, even trans stuff. Like, it's fine with me. It's really that I want lower taxes. That agenda is coming from a donor class that exists in New York, LA, some areas of Miami, right? That donor class is not in line with the rest of the Republican Party base. So it's not particularly a shock that the NRCC and the RNC are now calling off the dogs when it comes to Anheuser-Busch. Again, major donors to these organizations are not on board with the socially conservative agenda of the Republican Party. And that's why it's important for you as the base to stand up to that. You want to talk about the distinction between the quote-unquote establishment and the anti-establishment? This would be it. In the sort of Reagan three-legged stool that always described the conservative movement, the Republican Party, that Reagan three-legged stool was hawkish on foreign policy, laissez-faire on economics, and socially conservative. The piece that was always uncomfortable for the elite was not the first two, it was the third. It was all those kind of weird, creepy Christians who like believe in the Bible and like Judeo-Christian morality. That's kind of awkward. We'll get on board with them, but we're not really on board with them. They make us feel yucky on the inside. The donor class in the Republican Party is very much along those lines. Do not listen to the donor class. They bring you nothing but failure, especially on the most crucial issues. Because here's my view. Yes, economic issues matter an awful lot. I'm a property rights guy. I believe in free markets more strongly than pretty much anybody on the right. But in terms of the social values that undergird free markets and undergird working societies, social values matter more than any of that. If you destroy the social fabric, if you destroy the family, if you destroy basic notions of male and female dichotomy, none of the rest of that exists. All that stuff is scaffolding that is built on a shaky foundation. The foundation has to be the social conservatism. If that goes away, the rest of it just collapses inward. That's what you're seeing across Western societies. The big problem in Western societies, yeah, they're socialistic economic structures. But the real problem is there are no kids. There are no families. You don't have the basis to actually build a thing. So the fact that you have, Donald Trump Jr. saying, don't go after Anheuser-Busch, or the RNC saying that, if Anheuser-Busch wants to get back in the good graces of the people who consume its product, maybe they ought to actually say, we apologize for buying into the lie that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. We should not have stepped into this social battle in the first place. Alrighty. The rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to be getting into more censorship of new novels, plus the ridiculous hit on Clarence Thomas. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro. Check out for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click that link in the description and join us.